Hi everyone, this is Sunny from Database Tech. So today I had come up with one more new session on SQL Server database. In today's session, I will explain some of the commonly used SQL Server numeric functions, which are average, minimum, maximum, ceiling, floor, count, sum, random, and round. So now let's do them one by one practically in SQL Server. For that, let's open SQL Server first. But before we start, let's pull out the data from a table, and how we can do that using select query. So let's write down the query first. Select star from table name. So what's our table here? It is sales. So sales is the table that we had already created in this master database, which is here. And we are pulling the data from the sales table using select query. We are pulling all the data, so we had used start here. If you need some particular column, then you have to write down those columns. But we need everything from this table, so we had used star. And how to execute the query? Select the query and click on execute. In this table, we had columns like country, region, salary, year, and ID. Now let's go to the first numeric function, which is average. And let's see how it works and what is the syntax to write down this average function. Now suppose if we had the requirement where we need to get the average for any particular column. For example, we need the average for the salary column. How we can achieve this? We can achieve this using average function. What we have to write down? Select average. So what's average? It is a function. In the argument, we have to provide the column name. What's column name here? For which we need to get the average, it is salary. Salary from table name. Now execute this query. So 1750 is the average for the salary column. Similar way, if you need to get the average for any other column, what you have to do? You have to just change the column name. You can provide the column as ID. So for this column, what is the average here? It is 2. So by this way, you can get the average for any particular column. Now moving to next numeric function, that is minimum. So let's see how minimum works. Now suppose if we had the requirement where we need to get the minimum salary for this column. Now how we can achieve this? Now here, if I will ask you what's the minimum salary here, you will get it quickly. You will say it is 1000. Why? Because we have the less number of rows and it is easy to get this. But there can be the scenario where we have millions of rows. At that time, it's not possible to get this done manually. So we can use the minimum function for this. Let's see how it works and what is the syntax to use this. Select minimum. In the argument, what we will provide? The column name. From sales. Execute this, you will get the same output, which is 1000. Same way, if you need to get the max salary, what you can do? Select max. So max is the function. The same column name we will provide from sales. Let's execute them together. What is the issue here? So we had missed E here. 1000 is the minimum salary and 3000 is the max salary for this column. Moving to next numeric function, that is ceiling. So let's understand this function as well. Select ceiling, and that will provide some column from sales. So what ceiling has given us, it is 1, 2, 3, 5. Then first what we can do to compare the result, we will execute them together so that we can understand what actually it has done. So ceiling has given us 1, 2, 3, 5 for this ID column, and if we will check the ID from the base table, which is sales, it is same 1, 2, 3, 5. Then what is the difference here? What exactly it has given us? It is giving us the same output. Then what is the use to write down this function? See, ceiling by the word itself means top, the max, the highest value. Ceiling is the highest value. But then here we had provided 1, then it has given us 1. Then how we can use this? We can use this when we have values in decimal. Let me give you one more example so that you can understand this in a better way. Select ceiling 23.5. Now when I will execute this, what it will give us? The max value, the top value, the highest value, which is 24. Like no matter whatever the value we have after the decimal, it will give us the highest value, the top value. It is 24. If I will give it 1 also, still it will give us 24. If it will make it like this, still it will give 24. It will eliminate everything which is after the decimal, and it will, if we had any value after the decimal, it will make this 23 to 24, because 23 after 23 it is 24. Same way, if we use floor and we had the same value 23.6 or 5, now this value also we have in decimal, and by the floor, by this word itself, it means the lowest value, and the lowest value here is 23. So we had value in decimal which is more than 23. If I will make it like this also, it will still it will give us 23. If I will make it 1, it will give 23. So that is the difference between these two numeric functions, ceiling and floor. Ceiling will give us the top value, the max value, and the floor will give us the lowest value. No matter what value we have after decimal, if it is floor, then it will give us the lowest value. Same with ceiling. Now moving to next numeric function, that is count. So let's see how it works. So first let's pull out the data from a table. Now if you need to get the count of the number of rows for any particular column, how we can achieve that? Using count function. Now suppose we have millions of rows. At that time you need the count for that column. What we have to do, select count, and in the argument provide the column name, ID, or any column, or you can provide from, first let's write down the table. It will give us 4. And if you will provide any other column like region, it will still give us the 4. Count always give us the integer value as a return, the numeric value. So what is the count here for this region column it is 4. Now moving to next numeric function, that is sum. So if we need to get the sum of any particular column, like for the ID, we cannot get the sum for region because this is varchar, this is the character values. So we can get the sum for numeric values. So we have to provide the column which is numeric in the argument for this function. Select sum ID. So it will give us the sum from sales, which is table name. It's 11. If you need to get the sum for salary, you can get that as well. So sum is 7,000. But if you try to get the sum of region, let's see what it will give us. So what's region? It's not a numeric, it's not an integer column. So the data type for this column is not integer. So it has given us like operand data type varchar is invalid for the sum operator, because we can, in the argument, we can only provide the value which is integer data type, which is numeric. Now moving to next numeric function, that is random. So let's see how it works and what is the syntax to use this function. Select random. So have we provide any argument here, any value in the argument? No, we hadn't provide. Now when we execute this, we get some random value. Now when I will again execute this, what it will give us? It will give us different value. To compare this, what we can do here, we will paste it. So the second time when we execute the same, it has given us the different value. And every time when we will execute this function, it will always give us the different value. It will generate some random value and which is different to each other. Now which means, like, if we are not providing any value as an argument, it will give us different values. But at the same time, if we provide some value as an argument like 1, copy this and paste it here. Now when I again execute this, it is same value. So when we are providing any argument like a 1, it has given us the same output, and no matter how many times you will execute this function, now it will give us the same value for this argument, and it will change only when you will change the argument here, the value here, the argument value. Now when you provide 2 as an argument, it will give us the random value for that particular value, which is 2. So here it has changed, now it is A2 in the end. And similar way, if you need to change this as well, you have to provide 3, and for 3 it will be different, and for 2 it will be different. For every value, for every numeric value, it will give us the different random values. But it will be same for those numeric values which you will provide as an argument. Now moving to next numeric function, which is last, that is round. So let's see how it works. Select round, will provide some 450, and then we will round this by 2. So when we need a round for any number, what we have to do, so we are rounding here by 2. Now we have to check the third digit which is after decimal because we are rounding this by 2. And if this third digit is equal to 5 or greater than 5, then this 450 which is after decimal, it will become 460. Now what you have understood here, if the third digit after the decimal is greater than 5 or equal to 5, this 50 will become 60. And if this third digit is less than 5, then it will be 450. So it has only two possibilities here. It will become 450 or it will become 460. So now if this 0, the third digit which is after decimal, is less than 5, it will become 450, and if it is equal to 5 or greater than 5, then it will become 460. Let's execute this first. So it is 450 because this third digit is less than 5. Now let's make it 5. Now it will become 460, the second one. Or if it is 7 also, and still it will become 460, which means if you are rounding by 2, you have to go for the third digit which is after decimal, and if this third digit is equal to 5 or greater than 5, then it will become 460, and if it is less than, then it will become 450. Similarly, if it is 3, now it's not 4, it is 3, then at that case it will be 350 or 360. There are only two possibilities. Now if you need all the three values, no change, then what you have to do, you have to round this by 3, then there is no change. You can see everything is same, 357. And if you will make it 1, then what it will be? It will be, see, now if it is 1, then you have to check for the second digit after decimal because we are rounding this by 1. Now it will become, this is 5, the second digit is equal to 5 or greater than 5, then this 35, it will become 40. So it will be 400. You can see now it has become 400. 400. And if it is less than, now it's not 5, we'll make it less than 5, the second digit which is less than 5, then it will become 300. Okay, so 300. And if you need to make it 7, it will become 400. 400. The same concept that we had done for the second round off, or similar way, if you need the round off by 3, by 4, you can do in this way. So that's how it works, and I hope you have understood all the numeric functions that we had done today. Now that is the wrap up of the session. We'll come up with the next session shortly. Till then, have a nice day. Bye bye. Take care. Be healthy, be safe, and love your family.